from kitchengadgetsclub.com and also the voice behind the popular Kitchen Gadgets podcast, Magic with Gadgets. Today I've got a brilliant one for you and I'm going to be showing you for today's instalment of the Ninja Foodi 15-in-1 how to make burger and chips. Of course you could just do the burger or you could just do the chips and it's just amazing. And I'm also going to show you how to do the chips so that they're more in fitting with chip shop chips. So these are lovely, you know, and it's because we're cooking them in a little bit of oil that's used. Rather than the oil dripping down to the bottom, we're going to cook the chips in the bottom of the cooking pot. And you will love these chips. And then we can cook the burgers up top and you've got burger and chips ready at the same time, all done in your Ninja Foodi 15-in-1. So the ingredients, as you can imagine, are rather simple ones. We've got some mince, we've got some potatoes for the chips, and then of course we've also got a few extras. So secret ingredient for going in burgers, we are talking cream cheese. Cream cheese really makes the burger come together brilliantly, and we actually feature that in our cookbook, the complete air fryer cookbook, in the burgers recipe there. And a lot of the air fryer recipes that you want to do in your 15-in-1 you can actually use our air fryer cookbooks for. They're brilliant for that and they're very easy to adapt to the 15-in-1, so just remember that. We've also got some other cheese. I've got this brilliant cheese grater. Everybody keeps asking me where I got it from, and it's an IKEA. So next time you're wandering around IKEA and you want to buy something other than just freezer bags, then no, these are brilliant. So I've already got some cheese grated from another day, so I'm just going to throw this in, just saves grating some more. And then I'm also going to put in some garlic and some tomato puree as well, because they're wonderful in your burgers. So, shall we get started? So we're going to start by making the chips. So I'm just going to put the mince to one side because we can prep it whilst we are cooking the chips. So my favourite peeler back out. You see this quite a lot in videos. I absolutely love this peeler. It's a Joseph and Joseph one, and I picked it up in one of those cheap shops, you know, the one that has a lot of pound stuff in it and you just kind of end up having a wander and seeing what they do. It was one of those kind of places. You can of course do skin on chips, and we have a lot of those in our cookbooks, but I thought, make a change, let's peel them. And of course, if you've not tried it before already, you can make potato peelings in the air fryer and they come out like lovely crisps, or chips if you live in the US, and we feature them in air fryer easy every day, so do try those, because as you can see there's quite a lot left over there. So grab your favourite knife and you can do chunky chips or you can do really thin ones. I'm doing chunky chips here, so the cooking times are based on that. So if you're going smaller, just make sure you adapt and keep an eye on them. These are also basic potatoes. They're all rounder potatoes, so I've not gone with a special type. If you were wondering, in the complete air fryer cookbook, we actually have a section that's dedicated to what type of potatoes to use for chips. Have a nosy in there and you'll love all that information there on what kind of potatoes to use, which ones we recommend you avoid the most. And it's just brilliant for when you haven't done chips before, using an air fryer and you just want a starting point. And there you have it. Those are all the potatoes chopped for chips. I mean, look at the sizes of those. So I love that for a size of a chip. Or if you're in the US, you probably call them steak fries. But of course, what can happen is if you want French fries, I would just half the size of those if you prefer. But just remember that it will then change the cooking time. So now you've prepared your potatoes, I normally teach everybody to do it in a jug or in a bowl, because it's just brilliant, because then you're getting the oil everywhere around the food. But because we're cooking them directly in the cooking pot, we can use the cooking pot as our prep bowl. So we're going to do this time. I'm going to put this in the centre of position so you can just see it for a second. grab your chips and start popping them all into the cooking pot. So there you go, that is your potatoes ready for making into chips. So now we're going to add everything in like we would normally do if we were just doing chips for the air fryer. So you want to start with a drizzle of olive oil. Then salt, pepper, and then I'm going to use some oregano on these as well. And then you can mix them with your hands, and then they're perfect then for cooking as chips. So they're just going to sit in the bottom with this oil here. It's a brilliant alternative way to make chips if you want them with a little bit more fat on them, like chip shop chips. I mean, look at those, don't they look fantastic? So what normally happens is when you do air fryer chips, is the little bit of oil that's on them that's not needed just kind of drips down into the bottom. So we're keeping that oil all together. So like I say, it makes them more like chip shop chips, and they're absolutely delicious. So I'm just going to wash my hands and then we can get them on. So we're going to pop the lid down. Okay, so let's start cooking our chips. So pop it across to air fry, and then you're looking for a temperature of 180 Celsius, 360 Fahrenheit, a cook time of 20 minutes, and then press start. When you first got a multi-cooker, it's so hard understanding the times and temps and getting the food spot on and cooked perfectly. That's why we've made for you the multi-cooker cooking guide. It features all the main functions of the multi-cooker, from dehydrate to grill to steam roast to steam air fry, pressure cooking, and of course simple everyday air frying. It's perfect for lots of different types of multi-cookers, from Instant Pot users to Ninja Foodi users, Ninja Speedy, air fryer. Even if you've got a flex straw, it's just perfect for so many of them. You'll find the link below in the description, and you can pre-order it now. And now let's get back to the video. And we've beat, so shall I show you what the chips look like so far? Bearing in mind, this is 180 for 20 minutes. Oh, wow, look at those chips already, don't they look fantastic? So you just want to stir in the bottom, make sure none are stuck to the bottom. And as you can see, there's not that much of an oil build-up, really. And then you want to give them a good spray with some olive oil. So give it a good spray with some olive oil, give it a stir again, and then we can get these babies back on. So let's continue air frying the chips, and you're looking for a temperature of 180 Celsius, 360 Fahrenheit again. And now we're going to take the cooking time down to 8 minutes and then press start. And we've beeped, so shall I show you what the chips look like now after they've had their extra 8 minutes? So just think, they've done 28 minutes now. It takes longer to cook them because they're in the bottom, because they're not lifted up closer to the heating elements. So now let's take a look at them. So as you can see, they're getting some nice colour. They don't really stick to the bottom because we've got the oil that's come off a bit. So let me get a fork and I'll show you a closer up. So closer up on the chips, this is what they look like now. So as you can see, they're getting a nice bit of colour to them. So I'm just going to give them a little bit longer. And then you can stir them. And it's an easy way to get to them. And then lid back down. So to finish these chips, 190 Celsius, that's 380 Fahrenheit. A cook time of 5 minutes, but if you don't want them as crispy as ours, then you can miss this time and temp and move on to making the burgers, and then press start. And we've beeped, so shall I show you how amazing these chips look? Oh, they are beautiful. Oh, look at them babies, don't they look fantastic? So that's what they're like now. So now we can be doing burgers and adding burgers on top, can't we? Let me show you some of these chips. Oh well, look at that. Look at that for chips. Oh, and I'm the crispy person. I love the crispy ones. I mean, I'm definitely going to be having that one. Aren't they lovely? Let me find you another one. Oh, that is a beauty. So now the chips are done in the bottom, we're going to add the rack. And a lot of people ask me, because there's different names for all these different things that you get. Well, this is what I call the rack. And what you want is you want it in high position so the burgers are up top. And high position basically means that where you're putting the food is closest up. So if you look at that, that is top position, whilst that would be considered as low position. So I'm going to pop this in high position. You want it to position itself best it can like that. And then it's ready for burgers. So should we get prepping those burgers? Right, so let's prep these burgers, shall we? So I've got my mince. It's just over 1.5 pounds. There's 750 grams there. And you want to add in a good seasoning of salt, some pepper. We're going to add in some tomato puree. A bit of garlic puree as well, so it just makes these so easy to make. A bit of oregano. Some grated cheese that I had. Some fresh parsley. And a good dollop of Philadelphia cream cheese. And that's all the ingredients you need for some quick burgers. So next, shall we get mixing them and make them into burgers? Get your hands in. The cream cheese, or I call it soft cheese because that's what we've always called it in the UK, is brilliant because it gives wonderful texture to the burgers and it stops them drying out. So if you accidentally cook them for slightly longer than what you need, then you don't have to worry about really dry burgers. And plus they add a lovely flavour to it as well. Of course you can add more cheese, more seasonings, depending on how many people you're feeding. You can up this quantity if you'd rather. And then once it's nicely mixed, you can start making them into burgers. So how big a burger do you like? That's the question, isn't it? Are you a small £1/4 pound one? Do you like your smash burgers? What is your favourite? When you press them down, they do go a lot like smash burgers, if you look there. So then one by one, you can start making them. And then if you feel like some of them end up bigger than others, then you can adjust the size. So like for example, that one's bigger than that one. Press them down with your hand. I do own a burger press, but sometimes I just can't be bothered to get it out. And then I've got a little bit left, so I'm just going to bulk up some of the smaller ones. Of course, you can do half this mixture if you're feeding less people. I'm just giving you an example of what the burgers are like. So there you go, that is your 6 burgers ready. So let's get the cooking pot back out for you. And remember, oh, those yummy chips we've already made, hey? And then of course these juices from the burgers will then drip onto the chips. But if you don't like it like that, then instead put the burgers on a layer of foil. And then we're going to pop the lid down and we're going to start cooking them. So to get the burgers going, we're looking for the grill setting, which is just under air fry. And you're looking for 240 Celsius, that's 465 Fahrenheit. A cook time of 8 minutes. And then press start. And we've beeped. So shall I show you what the burgers look like so far? Oh wow, don't they look brilliant? So I've done an internal temperature. They're not high enough for me yet. They'd be more rare to medium. So I'm just going to put them on for a little bit longer. Oh wow, look at those beauties. Don't they look fantastic? I just love burger and chips. There's just something about it. So I've got loads going on. You can't see it at the moment because I'm zoomed in on the cooking pot, but I've got a chopping board that I've prepped in between cooking that's got the lettuce and tomato on. I've got another chopping board for the cooked burgers because I don't want to be putting them on the raw burgers chopping board. So let's get these burgers out and we can get the last couple on whilst we finish prepping the other ones. So, whatever's easiest for you. Oh, I don't want to drop it whilst I'm showing it off, but oh, look at that, doesn't that look fantastic? And they haven't really stuck that much to the rack either. So that's 2. Not quite reached the angle I'm at, but that's number 3. Oh well, one had to break, didn't it? Oh, never mind, it'll still taste good. So now back on for the last 2. These 2 are the bigger ones, so I'll see how these do for cook times, but I'm going to start them off with 10 minutes. So for the second set of burgers, you're wanting 240 Celsius, 465 Fahrenheit again, but this time I'm just going to cook them for 10 minutes because the grill is really preheated now and I don't want to overcook these lovely burgers. And then press start. So we've got less than 90 seconds left on the second batch of burgers, so I'm just going to add some cheese on top for these. Because if you like cheese melted on top of your burgers, then note you can do it like this. Just pop a bit of cheese on top and you sort it. Right, lid back down and let's finish the cooking time. So now, same temperature, and let's cook them for another 3 minutes because ours weren't quite cooked and reaching the right temperature in the centre, and then press start. And we've beat. So, should we check on those burgers? Oh, look at that, melted cheese on top. Who doesn't love cheese with the burger? I don't like the word hamburgers. I think I would prefer the word cheeseburgers because you've got to have cheese on a burger, haven't you? And remember, this is triple cheese because we've got grated cheese in the mixture, and we've also got cream cheese, and then we've got some extra cheese on top. So, triple cheese, hey. So, shall we get them out and get portioned up? Right, let's get these 2 last ones out. Oh, look at those, don't they look beautiful? And those are your beautiful chips underneath. Well, actually, the rack brought loads out. So I'm just going to put them ones back in. And then you've got lovely crispy chips. Then you've got the most amazing crispy chips with the fat off the burgers and then the original oil you cooked them with. Oh, they're amazing. Oh, look at them beauties. Don't they look fantastic? Oh, they're so good. I can't wait to eat some of those. So, I've got out the burger buns. I've got some brioche ones from the supermarket. I also love some mayonnaise in my burgers, so I'm going to spread some mayo on them first. And then are we going to do doubles? So to make double cheeseburgers, we're going to start with some lettuce at the bottom. Then we can add 2 burgers. A bit of tomato. Oh my, that's quite tall, that. Taller than I was expecting. And then pop your lid on. Wow, look at the size of that. I can't eat one that big though. So that'll be Dom's. So right, let's do some more, shall we? So some lettuce at the bottom. I'm going to steal the one with the cheese. Then some tomato, and I'm sorted. So check that out for a burger. Doesn't that look fantastic? Oh yes, I'm sorted for lunch. And then you can continue until you've done all your burgers. And then that's the last one done. Don't they look fantastic? I just need to plate it all up now with the chips, and we are sorted. Clean everything else away, burgers onto plates, so let's add some of those chips, shall we? And I can give you a close-up of them. Well, these chips are the best. So we've got the burgers, we've got the chips on the plate. So now, got to add some more mayo, haven't we? Are you more of a ketchup person? Whichever you are, now's a brilliant time to add it. So, let me give you a close-up, shall I? So, you've got burger, you've got chips, you've got mayo, you've got lettuce and everything in your burger. Doesn't that look fab? And that's the other one. Oh yes, now you're talking. Doesn't that burger look fantastic? Oh yes, please. I can't wait to tuck in now. So, there you have it. That is how to do burger and chips, how to use the bottom cooking pot for it. And of course, if you don't want your chips as crispy as what we've done ours, what you can do is you can omit the last cooking time on air fry, and then the grill will then finish them off for you. But it's totally up to you. If you use foil on top of your burgers, none of the heat will get down to the chips, so you won't have that problem if you used foil. But it's just totally up to you. I love the juices of the burgers going onto the chips. They make it absolutely delicious. Thanks so much for watching our YouTube video. It feels so amazing that you've stuck round to the end. And of course, that must mean that you like our videos. So why not also follow us on social media? You can find us at the Kitchen Gadgets Club on Facebook and on Pinterest, TikTok. We're Kitchen Gadgets Club. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel for more great videos like this one. And you can also find us at kitchengadgetsclub.com, where we have a membership that shares brand new kitchen gadget recipes every week. And we also have lots of great ideas, resources, tips and tricks. And we are an ovenless kitchen, so we teach you exclusively how to cook with kitchen gadgets. And a ciao for now.